of your father being in show business?
You know, I think he did a picture with John Wayne, and I just remember seeing a picture around a pool table. But I must have been like 2 or 3, and I remember I was right by his feet, and he had this gigantic scar down there. But that's it. My dad got into show business when, who doesn't know, he played baseball and basketball. Dodgers, Celtics, Cubs. But when he was playing for the Angels in the West Coast, he hit a home run, and he did cartwheels around the bases. You know, when we heard that story, I didn't buy it, but it's true. And there was a director and his secretary up in the stands. And I want that man in my office on Monday. So the first movie that he did was called Pat Mike. It was Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. He played a cop. So that's how he got into the business. But he was asked once if he had to choose, and he said, I was stuck with baseball. So my younger brother Steve, he played with the Angels a little bit. My son Cole, who's in the Air Force right now, he's stationed in Tucson, Arizona. He's a staff sergeant firefighter. And the Dodgers wanted to look at him, but he chose the military. My older brother Mike, he's a dolly grip. He pushes camera. But we get asked, how was it growing up, and how was your father compared to the way on the show? And he was a strict Catholic, and he didn't spoil us, not at all. Chores, consequences, so it was all there. And then my mom and dad divorced in '60, which was really tough for him because, being a devout Catholic, it's not, so that happened. But, it was cool growing up being his son. He lived up in Tehachapi, California, in an area called Bear Valley Springs, and I wish we could have kept the ranch because it was so beautiful up there. But he passed away in '92. And there's a lot of people that didn't know that he passed away in '92. And he was 71. But his last 2 birthdays, he goes, I don't want any cards, I don't want any phone calls. I says, Dad, you're still going to have a birthday. Yeah, but you don't have to remind me. I go, it's April 10th. Anyway, I love my dad. Up at his ranch, he had an 8-acre ranch, and his fencing was made out of telephone poles. So one day he goes, Jeffrey, before I die, I want to finish this fence. I says, okay, put the cigarette out, get out the tractor, and let's finish it. So we ended up finishing the thing. But as far as being, I miss my father. I love him dearly, and he was a great dad.